How's it going, everyone? I'm Landan with LMR.com. Today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about this Fox Body oil separator from the J&L Oil Separator Company, and we're going to be installing one into our 1990 Mustang GT that we call two-tone. To kick things off, if you appreciate our videos, go ahead and give this one a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more Fox Mustang content and turn on those notifications. That way you're notified every time we release something new. So positive crankcase ventilation, or PCV for short, is the venting of crankcase pressure back through the intake system. Well, whenever this happens, oil in the form of vapors will begin to accumulate within the intake system, which over time can cause other problems. Well, to filter out those vapors from circulating back into the intake system, you need an oil separator. So the oil separators I have here today are from the J&L Oil Separator Company. These oil separators are some really nice pieces, and they're currently available in either a black anodized or clear anodized finish. Within each lid is a fine mesh stainless steel screen that traps the oil vapors and releases them once they become heavy enough to fall. The oil then passes through an aluminum honeycomb filter where they grow even larger and then ultimately fall into the bottom of the tank. This particular tank holds 3 ounces of fluid, so depending on how often you drive and how you drive, whether it be spirited or not, can dictate the service interval. My general rule of thumb has always been to check and empty the tank whenever you change the oil, or every 2,000 to 3,000 miles. This oil separator is designed to fit 1986 to 1993 5-liter fuel-injected Fox Mustangs, and in the box will be one oil separator assembly with attached hoses, bracket, and hardware for the bracket. Now, depending on the service history of the car, I would suggest that you go ahead and purchase a new PCV filter, grommet, valve, and the short factory style vacuum hose whenever you purchase your new oil separator. With all that good stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and install one of these in our 1990 GT. To begin, open the hood and locate the PCV valve in the lower intake manifold. Now, this is difficult to see, but it's at the rear of the lower intake and in the center. Remove the valve and grommet by pulling up on the hose. Follow the hose with your hand and remove the hose from the vacuum fitting in the upper intake manifold. Use a pick and a magnet to fish out the metal filter screen. Go ahead and install a new filter screen in the correct orientation. Feed it into place with the magnet and then fully seat it with the long flathead screwdriver. Take this time to clean and inspect the factory vacuum hose. The hose on this car was very hard and it had developed a few cracks. You can replace it with the correct hose from our site. If you're using the factory style hose, cut it just before the short 90-degree bend to create a straight section. Lightly lubricate the inside and outside of the new grommet with some silicone grease. Install the new PCV valve into the grommet. Lightly lubricate the plastic fitting on the oil separator assembly and the PCV valve. Next, you'll want to install the long hose on the oil separator onto the PCV valve. Then connect the shorter hose with the plastic fitting on the oil separator with the short section of vacuum hose. Now we'll go ahead and install the bracket. Carefully dislodge the harness clip from the firewall and position the harness out of the way. Pass the bolt through the bracket and then feed the bolt through the opening just above the AC accumulator. Install the washer and hold it in place while you thread on the nut. Verify that the bracket is straight and then use a 10mm socket on the bolt head and a 10mm box end wrench on the nut to tighten the hardware. Reinstall the harness clip. Go ahead and wrap the oil separator with a microfiber towel to prevent scratching, and then feed the 2 hoses behind the intake manifold. Align the PCV grommet and firmly push down to fully seat it within the lower intake. Route the other hose towards the open fitting in the upper intake manifold and reinstall it. Remove the towel protecting the oil separator. Align the screw holes in the top of the oil separator with the bracket and loosely install one of the Phillips head screws. Then you'll be able to align the second hole with the bracket and install the last screw. Go ahead and tighten both of these down. Reposition anything that you had to work around, give everything a final once over, and then you're good to go. All right, fellas, wrapping things up here. This J&L oil separator is a really good bolt-on part, and the installation wasn't all that bad. As always, for the most up-to-date product information, pricing, and availability on anything you saw in the video, please refer to the description or the website. We're going to sign off for the day, so until we catch you in the next one, y'all know what to do for all things Fox Body. Keep it right here with the real enthusiasts, LMR.com.